Alright guys, BigPoppaTMo here. Hey, how's it going? How are y'all doing today? Welcome back. This is episode 4 of Escape the Pacific Island Survival. And we're going to be continuing on. As you can see from our aerial view here, we have clear cut about the front quarter of the island. We got some trees down. We got a whole bunch of stuff going. We got a fire. We got some cooking going on. We have our bed, we have our rain collectors, and in this episode, we're going to start building a few things. Uh, we're going to start construction on our ship to get ready to go to the next island. So, yeah, let's get right in it. Remember, the guys, this is an early access alpha game, currently alpha 58, and save often, as I always say. Let's go ahead and we'll jump right back in there. When we left off last time, we were cooking some turtle meat. We're still cooking some turtle meat. Here is our bed. Here are our turtle shell rain collectors. Here is our lovely fire. And yeah, we're going to get some more wood to put in the fire. Let that turtle meat cook up, and then we are going to salt it so that it stores nicely. And we will have that saved for future adventures. Future adventures. Don't ask. I don't know. Sometimes I say things I don't even know what I'm saying. It happens. One of the fun things about being a content creator and a streamer is we have to talk a lot. And when you have to talk a lot, sometimes you run out of things to say. So sometimes you just say random shit. It happens. Alright. Meat's at 90%. You're getting there. That is some lovely loggerhead turtle meat. Not a big fan of these days of killing the loggerhead turtles. But back in this time frame, this is the golden age of pirates, basically. Pirates of the Caribbean time frame. Loggerhead turtles were a huge part of the diet. They were also much more plentiful than they are now because there weren't a whole bunch of, plastic bits in the sea killing them off. Alright, don't want to overcook the meat too much. I walked away for just a few minutes and it was trying to go. We're going to dump our meat on the ground. Salt the meat. Pick that up. Salt the meat. Pick that up. Alright, that is some good stuff right there. Alright, so we got a pretty decent amount of meat in here. We got some cooked. This is actually just says cooked meat, but that was crab. This is turtle. This is also turtle. And then we are going to put these guys in here as well. I don't know why we're walking around with a rock in our pocket. So let's go ahead and drop that off. We don't have to worry about the fire at the moment. It can burn itself out if it has to. We have plenty of time. What I do need to do is I need to check on my thirst level and my hunger level. We are thirsty. So we need to go grab some water. And for that, actually we have these lovely bits here. Might as well take off some more coconuts. Don't roll out into the ocean. Really, I was going to say. If it made it past the bed, I was going to be mad. Things do roll around a lot. Oh, we're exhausted just from breaking open some coconuts. I really wish we had more stamina. Now the other thing, last time, um, we're going to start collecting the interior husks if we don't eat it, because I want the bigger shells. They hold a little bit more water and give us... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Thought I was hitting the coconut, hitting the husk. I like the bigger shells because it provides more salt water and therefore more salt in there. You don't have to eat it right off the bat. You can store it. It does come out raw. I don't know if we can cook with it later. But in the meantime, we're just going to put it in our bag. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and take a look at that. So under crafting, there are recipes. This is for cooking. Palm oil. All right, so coconut, pots, and water, and coconut flesh. There you go. All right, so we can make palm oil. That's how we make oil. That's good to know. All right, so we're gonna start doing that. You learn something new every day, guys. Learn something new every day. And then, of course, with the husks, hit them once with the axe. Not twice, because they disappear like I did on that first one. And then once with the knife. And they turn into these little puff balls of dry fiber. I'm going to be using that to make some rope in just a moment. I think that's actually the first thing we're going to do. All right. 22 hunger, 20 on thirst. Why am I trying to use a hammer? That doesn't work. We need to use the axe. Don't axe. I don't know. Whack that. Whack that. Whack that. Whack that. We are tired. Yeah, our tiredness is 76, so that's why we're running out of stamina so fast, too. Our poor guy. Let's give him half a second to breathe. Cardio. Cardio. Telling you. Now, there's a lot of very interesting mechanics in this game, especially compared to other games of a similar nature. If you like Stranded Deep, you'll probably like this. The biggest thing about this particular one that I like over SD is the fact that you can build buildings on boats. You can build a mobile base, which is what we're actually going to do. All right, we're going to go ahead and eat that one. All right, hunger's down to 5, thirst is down to 9. Again, there I go trying to use the hammer instead of the axe. I hear my heart racing. All right, let's go ahead and grab all of those. Okay, so that has salt in it. That does not, or that does. These do not. So we're going to place these down to catch any rain. Should it rain, fire is out. That's good. Unfortunately, we don't have any way to store the salt just yet. We will once we get to the next island. I do know that for a fact. That is food. Oh, I did it again. So one of the things about um, other games to interact with something is normally E or F. To interact with these is actually U, the letter U. Um, so I'm constantly accidentally picking things up, which bothers me. Now, one of the other things, we're going to get into crafting here, and we're going to make small rope. This is one of the other things that kind of bothers me at the moment, is that this crafting menu doesn't allow ease of going right back to the same thing. So I'm hoping the devs do something about that. But we are going to make small rope out of the coconut pieces. And you need 4 small ropes to make a large rope. So now that we have a bunch of grass, we can stop using the tufts for fuel or kindling, and we can just focus all on rope. Now, that's the strong rope. That is super, super useful, and we're going to need to make a whole bunch of those. But like I said, it is a little frustrating to have to do this every time. Now, what you can also do, though, this is actually kind of convenient. You can do the blueprints whether you have the materials or not. So we put the blueprint down for the strong rope when we didn't even have enough small rope to make it. But what we can do then is we can make these, all 4 of these required for that one big one, and then pick them all up and put them right into that blueprint. That's actually kind of cool. I just wish it was a little easier to get back to the crafting menu with some hotkeys or something like that. But I do like that you can do that. So we'll just line those all up. There we go. All right, 3 strong ropes already built. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to actually put this in our inventory. We want to put this in our inventory. We want to go check on our fish trap. But before we go in the water, we want to drop off our bags. And where did we put our fish trap? There it is. All right, we are at 20%. To get the fish out of it, we're going to go ahead and let that run for a little bit longer. That way we're not starting up a fire just to cook 2 fish. Put all of our equipment back on. Put these back on the toolkit where we want them. Good to go. Now we need to go cut these guys up. Oop, we are exhausted. We're going to need a rest. We're going to need a rest soon. So let's take a quick look. Sun's still pretty high in the sky. So what we're going to do here is we're going to grab all of these and bring them over by our fire. That one was getting a little uppity. Turn these into fire sticks. We are going to prep our fire so that when we wake up, we're ready to go. If it's dark, we can just fire it right up. And if it's daylight, then that'll be fine too, because then we can go ahead and empty out our fish trap and cook all the fish. All right, let's see if we can stick one of those in there. Yes, we can. That'll be prepped for a big. All right, next we need to go ahead and put these away, put these away. Medium planks, we need one little bit of that. Need that in our inventory. Put that in there, that's good to go. Yeah, our tiredness is 93, so we definitely want to do this now. All right, so sleep until sunset. That way there will still be a little bit of light even if we are fully done. All right. And we're still a little bit tired, which is fine. Let's go ahead and light the fire. Now, if we can do this really quick before the sun goes down totally, let's go ahead and get rid of our tools. Drop that off, and into the water we go. Oh, I didn't mean to eat that. When you're bobbing around, you is eat. But raw fish actually isn't bad for you. For some odd reason, I was still sliding. Alright, so when anything weird happens in this game, make sure you do something as a save. Like I said, sometimes the building things get a little wonky. And my first indicator was that the sticks were kind of going crazy. But we're going to cook some fish. While we are cooking some fish, I need to put my gear back on. I constantly do that, where I forget that I have taken my gear off. And get the palm fronds. Pew! See that? That was glorious. All right, there's also a new page journal. Oh, okie dokie. We're still whacking at it. New journal page. The palm fronds were being a little goofy. Salt. Salt is essential to maintain the body functions. Yeah, we already know that. Let's grab this. Bring this guy over here. Salmon's still cooking. They turn very, very bright red when they're done cooking. So the color changes pretty dramatic on the fish. We have 2 salts that we can use on that. Let's grab this. drop that off there. Get this tall palm cut up and ready to go. It is definitely getting dark very quickly. But we do have some good, what looks like moonlight over here, which is kind of strange because the moon is not actually up yet. Throw this down, then we'll check on our fish. Hopefully our fish are finished. Then we can eat 2 and salt 2. Yes, they are done. Ooh, they're overcooking. I don't know at what point they actually burn, but that is a horrible looking fish. That is an absolutely horrible looking fish. Alright, hunger's only at 8, so we're really not all that hungry. But we only have the 2 salts. So let's salt that. Salt this. And we will put those in there. All right. Now let that fire go for a little bit. Now what we're going to do here is we need to go to... Let's make sure we're pointing at the right island. So that's the island we want to go to. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to our crafting menu. We're going to go to boats. There's 2 different types of boats that you can do here. You can do one for rowing and one for sailing. There's a small version of the canoe log and there's a long version of the canoe log. Give you an idea of what these will look like. So that's the long rowing one. Takes 2 wood trunks, 1 thick branch, 18 hits with the hammer. The shorter one is just from there forward. But we actually don't want to row. So we're going to get rid of that. What we're going to do is we're going to build the one that is the basic Raft modules. And we're going to do multiple parts of this, because we do need several of them to build the boat that we want. So we're going to do prep for 4 of them. All right, so there's 4. So we need a total of 8 of these. I prefer the palms. You can do this with the ugly ones and you can do it with the bananas. But if you're on an island that has palms, that's my personal preference. I think it just looks better. Doesn't matter if they're wet or dry. They have not yet put, like I said, a mechanic in for wet or dry of affecting things. I think later on, wet woods will probably be heavier and sit lower in the water and probably be slower. That is just speculation on my part, but I call it an educated guess. All right, so we're going to hammer these together real quick. And then I will show you how they go together. It's actually really cool. It's a simple thing. And then we will build a couple other pieces. We need to build some masts. For our sails, we need to build the sails. All right, so once you have those pieces together, while you still have the hammer out, pick up your piece and move it to it, and then you see how it turns green. And that's just with a right click and drag, and then let go. You don't have to push anything to get them to connect. You just have to let it go. Now, I have noticed one thing about this. It is much, much easier to get these to work when they're sideways and close together. That one did snap in there, but I have noticed that from the side, it works a lot better. Now, we have a nice big raft here. I'm actually going to make this even larger before we go anywhere, but what I want to do now is I want to build the mast piece. We can't do the sail mast with the wind indicator because we don't have a bandage yet, but we can do this. Whoops, push the wrong button. Put that down. We need one thick branch for a mast and a couple hammer whacks. Now, right click and hold to attach. Grab it from the bottom. It makes it much, much easier. And then it'll show you where it can snap to. We're going to put another one right there too. I'm only going to build the one for right now though. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to make a rudder. The rudder is one small stick. Conveniently, one dry small stick right here. And a bunch of hammer whacks. That is one really, really versatile stick for sure. Because that sure as heck looks like a whole bunch of other ones. Pick that up and move that, and then it'll show you where it can snap to. It pretty much centered it between those two pieces. Now, while you have your hammer out, you can't really pick things up. If I tried to pick this thing up like I'm doing right now with the hammer out, it would actually pull one of the pieces off. You can lift, you can rotate, you can center. There you go. We are starting to build a lovely, lovely raft. All right, we might as well build the other mast real quick, because that is only one thick branch and we have it just sitting there. Put that in there. Now, we want two masts on this. The bigger your ship, the more sails you need. And the sails that we're going to be able to make here, since there are not a lot of banana trees on this island, there was just the one, we're going to be using palm fronds for our sails, which are the least efficient of the sails. Shoot, I almost let that burn out. When your fire gets too low, you have to start using fire sticks. Still needs fire sticks. Goodness gracious. Don't let your fire burn out. Get that back up to medium. There we go. Get it up to big. Nice. All right. Now we're going to do this over here where it's a little bit brighter. We'll do crafting. 2 different sails. Palm sail, 1 star. And banana sail, 2 stars. We don't have the banana palms, so we're going to have to do this with the palms. So that's the other reason we want 2. All right, so 2 long sticks, 4 palm fronds. We have that galore. Grab some long sticks. All right, where do we have palm fronds? Palm fronds. Nice packed pile of palm fronds. Grab 4 of those. those. And then 10 hammer wax. It's neat because it builds it all upright like this, and then when it's finished, zoop, collapses down. I'm kind of surprised they were both standing straight up for this. They normally fall over, the blueprints. Alright. Right click, pick it up. Holding the right mouse button to attach. I'm going to walk this over here. When we get close to a mast, we have a nice little green spot. Boop. There we go. Grab this one. Same thing on that. And there's a sailboat for you. All right. It's dark. I'm going to have to fast forward to get to the daytime. So that's going to be pretty much it for this one. Thanks again for all the love and support. You guys have been absolutely amazing as always. If you haven't already, you might want to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Hit that bell notification if you want to get notifications when I post new content. Swing on by. I'll be doing more to this series. And I think on the next episode in the daytime, we will build out our ship a little bit more. We'll make it a little bit bigger. And we will prep and get ready to head on to the next island. Until then, go find your own damn resources.